Oh, yes, indeed. You know what time it is. It is wine o'clock here in Spain. You can set your wine. Actually, it's wine 30. Oof. Um, on our usual times, because we just run so late with so much stuff, wine o'clock happens around 9 o'clock, 9:30, and that's way past Grandpa's bedtime. So we're gonna have wine o'clock now and do some. Yay, Fitzsimmons! I'm glad the cha 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 makes you happy. Uh, oh, well, Nemesis. It's always beer o'clock in Ireland. Doesn't matter what that clock says. It's always beer o'clock in Ireland. And I say that with the greatest respect because it's always wine 30 here in Spain. You know that. Yeah, man. In the morning, you go to the cafe. Some people are having a coffee, and some people are having a, nice glass of wine or a little brandy snifter. Europe is really different about alcohol than the United States. You know, I drink about half a bottle, no, 3/4 to a whole bottle of wine a night with dinner and everything as things go through. In the United States, I would be considered a problem drinker. In Spain, I'm considered, a lightweight. I do okay. I'm not a teetotaler. Uh, well, that's nice. Fitz, get yourself a little bit of rum. Spicy rum. What kind of rum? Can you give us a brand, a label? Give us an idea of where you're at on that thing, on that rum machine. And again, if you want to be in the band, just send me an email to the Breadcrumbs Project. Just let me know your screen name and what instrument you want to play. Oh, but you're a Bacardi man. Oh, well, you're a little bit of refinement and sophistication. Uh, yeah, Bacardi is a sophisticated rum. If you're a Bacardi man, thank you, Captain Realist. That is the email. If you want to be in the band, backup singer, whatever you want to do in the band, we got a producer already. That's going to be Epic, and I'm sure our man LJ Trax will co-produce as long in the same way that Epic's my co-producer and my co-host here on the Breadcrumbs Project. I have the visual side, and then he does stuff in anonymity, and that's part of us being in the queue, guys. And I'm sorry if you're a fellow of the Crumb. The fellow of the Crumb is a participant in the queue. Um, you know, I was a doubting Thomas. I came to the queue a complete doubting Thomas, and I had to put my finger through the wounds, and prove to myself that this Q thing has something to it, and then boom, I'm part of it. And that happened in over a week. The boom, this has something to it, and boom, I'm part of it. No, that happened at the same time actually. Yeah, when I saw the Q Great Awakening part, that was a one-to-one moment. So now that I think back about it, in the shadows, you chillax there, Epic. You relax. You get all your stuff back, man. That's brutal. That is brutal. I mean, seriously, if you blistered yourself, the sun was doing a job on you today, and you were at it for 10 hours. You got some good lads working for you, man, because I can imagine the words I quit about 4 or 5 hours into it coming out of my mouth. Darn it, CJ. Darn it, darn it, darn it to heck. If that second part of that whiskey bottle's got to be drunk. Oh, I did a horrible job on uncorking. Oh, how do I do this? Look at that. Completely brutalized the cork. Yeah, this bottle is going to be drunk tonight. Completely. But it's early, so yeah. It was a goner anyways. That cork wasn't going to do any good. Uh, oh, you're a good man. You're a good man, Andrew. Brother. Boom. Fist bump right there on you. Wow. Gave him a bonus and some beers. Yeah, it looks cat chew, doesn't it? We got cat problems around here in Murcia, Spain. Um, but you know, a bonus and a beers with the boss after a good job in brutal conditions. That's something. All right, guys. Today, this is this is a Campo Viejo. I don't think we've done a Campo Viejo yet. Campo Viejo means old camp, and this is one of the oldest farms in the area of the Rioja. It's a very, very old farmstead, and it started producing wine. It's not one of the premier labels of the uh, in the Rioja, and yeah, it is a Rioja. I'll prove it to you. If all you doubting Thomases, Rioja, and it's got the little holographic, and like every Rioja label number, every wine, it has its number. So if this is shit wine, I can go back to Campo Viejo and say, why is this shit wine? Tell me what happened that year. Oh, you have that vintage? I thought we got rid of all those bottles. Yes, there was a pestilence, and all the bottles turned quickly, and that's never happened to me. But I can track down where this bottle was, what part of the vineyard these grapes are from, um, how the conditions were the day that they were pulled. That's in the database. And if anything was going on that year, a drought, new owners buy into it, the previous owners, they've just gotten tired, and there was so much upheaval, and it's just they weren't producing good Rioja wine. They were doing okay, but it wasn't the good stuff. And Cedesade was like, they've got a good wine label now. Why don't you try a working man's wine? I was like, oh, I'm being a little bit too bougie, huh? And he was like, I didn't use the word bougie, but yeah, yeah, I think you're coming off a little bourgeoisie with the wines you keep ordering again and again. If you do it, every once in a while, that's a special occasion. But if you're going to be in a working man's bar drinking, you should order a working man's wine. Quit ordering the shishi stuff. So I got the message, and I enjoy it. It's great. And look, this is a good wine. It's got the dimpled bottle, so they've put extra money into the bottle, and it's got all the things that it needs to be considered a top-notch wine. The bottle, they've put good work into it. The tinting of it is excellent. It's definitely won awards. It's an award-winning wine, and so it's good stuff. But it's a working man's wine, and I. Let's see. I don't even know where I'm at in the chatting thread. So, and you know what? And everybody in this group, the 14 of y'all, you are the regular. There's 14 of us here now. We are definitely the usual suspects. The lurkers haven't made it over here yet. So, here come the lurkers. But the 14 that are talking here are the close folks. And all of you are working class people. And I say that not in the derogatory way, but all of you here have worked for your money, and you know value. You're not a Rothschild. You're not a Soros. You're not a Saud. We are all we all work for our money. Oh, hey David C. Glad you made it. Welcome. I guess looking like Brad Pitt has its benefits. It has its curses too, CJ. A real working man's wine comes in a box, actually. Yeah, it comes in a bag. If you open the box, there's a bag in it. No, that's the that is the soccer mom's wine. Fitz. That's the soccer mom's wine. Cheers to everybody. Everybody that's worked so hard to build us up to what we are. And we have something to offer now, guys. That's my final point right now. Oh, that's good. Ooh, that's good. Oh, it finishes. Sorry. Yeah, it's been a while since I drank a Campo Viejo. It's not my usual go-to. Um, I forget. I'm gonna have to get more of that. That's well, I've got actually a whole bunch in back there, so I'm okay. Cheers to all you guys. Um, I have cut a lot of kitty balls. What does that mean, Anton? Sometimes you walk into a conversation and it's just poor timing. Pip pip, old bean. Pip pip into you. Cheers, cheers. Yeah, they're not bad wines. Bad wines are not bad wines. Oh, that's some work, CJ. Epic. You're okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one that's interested in this. Thank you, Anton. Thank you for clarifying that. That got both epic. Well, now, what is a kitty ball cutter? Uh, you do work for your money, Anton. I dated a vet, and she worked the midnight shift. She liked working the midnight shift because that's usually when the worst cases would come in at midnight. And she had a real compassion and a real gift for veterinaries. It's hard work to do, and to make it and to make it successful, it's not a very profitable business, guys. Well, absolutely, he is a serial. He's a professional serial kitty ball cutter, um, epic. So that's kind of next level, okay? So you're a kitty ball cutter and you're serial at that, and they pay you to do it? The midnight cutter. Things get out of hand here quick. Very, very quick. And the funny thing is, I think we're all on the same wavelength now as far as humor and fun and all that. Yeah, the cats love him. hmm I've yet to see a cat joyously go into a veterinary clinic. My dog used to love to go. All of my dogs love going to the veterinary clinic. I'd make it a big deal, and the vets were always just great. So you make it a good deal. Wait, what have you cut, Nemesis? Since we're all, what exactly have you cut? Kitty balls? Okay, Captain. This is where the Dutch go. This is where the Dutch go sideways with the stuff. Why you got to go all Silence of the Lambs, Captain Relief? Why you got to go Silence of the Why? Why did it? What in there? Nobody was thinking that. The Dutch have that little dark streak that always just, you know, they really do. He better warm him up first. Warm his hands. For the record, Kelly does not eat cat balls that she knows of. It's all right. You got There's got to be one in every bunch. There's got to be one, but I mean, right, Hannibal Lecter off the bat, quick. Oh, you were a veterinary nurse for 25 years. Check you out, Nemesis. Rams? What the hell's a Chinese? At the Chinese. I've got to learn to speak Irish. Yeah, veterinary nurses. That's the shit job, y'all. That is the hardest job. And the thing about here's the thing about human nurses. They work hard, don't get me wrong, but they only have to work on one species, two genders. A vet has to work on all the species, all the genders. They even have to work on humans too, occasionally. Oh, ketamine, yeah, that was crazy. Restaurant, gotcha. Hi there, admin WebQ. Hi, admin WebQ. Are you a member of the queue? Reading comments. Oh, this is cozy. There's 21 of us here now. This is cozy. I like this. Yeah, ketamine, yeah, it's not bad. It was just abuse, Tabitha. Hmm. All right, Q, you're gonna have to web Q, admin, you have to clarify those bang marks for me. You got 3 bang marks. The number 3 is very important to this group, okay? So the fact that you just laid out 3 bang marks gets a lot of attention from this group. Hello, Solar. Welcome. Thanks for stopping in and chatting. Admin WebQ, I'm waiting for you. Only reason is because I'm going to start putting out an open call to queue people to start joining in our discussions. Um, Everybody that's in the chat room now is trained in what we're talking about, and I say trained, educated. So as new people come in, I'm going to ask if they're queue people. Um, and we want to speak directly to the Q people because we have a lot to teach. There's part of the Great Awakening map that's ours, and it's the upper portion. So we have to start teaching people. It's going to be a slow process, thank God. Um, so as we get members of the queue, we want to talk to you directly. And we do have people, members of the queue, come in and go. And so if you are a member of the queue and you're new here, speak up. You've had fellow folks come in here. You've probably had you've been invited by a fellow queue member to just to take a look at us, and we're safe. We are safe, and our very crack team of mods keep the conversation going, and they also keep us safe. They definitely have our backs. We've had to bounce a few friends out, people that we consider friends. We have work to do. We're not an entertainment channel. We have work to do, and every day our first video is going to be the working video of the day. It's going to be either Partha or Angel for the next many weeks. teaching us how to meditate and understand the things that the upper portion of the Q Great Awakening is talking about. Because there's only one person that knows that stuff, and that's Partha. I'm talking about the world, guys. There's only one person that can put all of that stuff together with the electric sun. There's only one person in the world, and that's Partha. Yeah, crop circles are starting to just sprout up everywhere. Oh, the gender wars? Brutal. Brutal. I was pretty much bounced out of my yoga studio. After a while, um, just because you know you probably voted for Trump, and I remember it was right after Trump got elected, and usually after an election, everybody calms down with their politics. It used to be everybody calmed down. Well, right after the Trump election, a lot of the women that ran the yoga studio and did yoga, they helped organize a women's march and wanted everybody to come out and support it, and they were very proud of it. Well, I went to support those friends and those women for that women's march, and it turned out to be an anti-Trump march. And then I pointed out to my yoga instructor, I was like, I came for a women's march, and it turned out to be a political anti-Trump march. Well, I had my sign, and I had it out and proud. I was like, okay, but you lied to me, and you're being a hypocrite, and you're using your gender to push a political ideology. You don't see that? I didn't say those words because it would have been lost. It would have just made her angry. But when suddenly you use a women's march to make it a anti-Trump march, you're not acknowledging that just about half the women in the country voted for Trump. Maybe not all of them, but 40% plus of women voted for Trump. So if you're going to have an anti-Trump rally, call it an anti-Trump rally. Don't call it a women's march and make it anti-Trump, because not all women are anti-Trump. Now, if all women were anti-Trump, then you could have a women's march and call it an anti-Trump rally, and you'd be okay. Oh, there are a lot of Q maps, Aquarius, lots. Yeah, and I'm okay with that, Nemesis. Like I said, I don't want this to be a big thing. It will get big. I know. Partha and I both have a feeling that this will grow, and hence my effort at building some infrastructure and basics. The word will get out. Word will get out. There's just nobody else can do what we do. There's just no competition. There's just nobody else, I dare say, in the world that can talk about those Q maps like Partha, Angel, and myself can. Because we bring three unique disciplines to this one focus. If you're not experiencing discomfort, you are not making spiritual growth. Right to you, CJ. You just got yourself a toast, brother. That's exactly right. If you're comfortable, you're not growing. If you're in the gym and it's not hurting, then you're being healthy. You're not making gains. But up until today, I haven't really had anything. We haven't really had anything to offer the Q except quiet comfort and wide open mouths. But now these videos that I've got up of Partha and love is a perfect base to start building the message to bring people in and for them to understand if they want to. If they don't want to, if they're part of the queue and they're like, man, I ain't down for that. I'm like, brother, you don't have to be. We're just showing you something. Some people see it, some people don't. We're okay with that. But we're going to do our part to help. Yeah, absolutely, Nemesis. That's exactly right. The queue that we do here is different than the queue that everybody else does. And it's supposed to be like that. That's why this looks like that. That's why this looks like that. That is way the hell spacey wacy stuff. %90 of your regular queue is going to look at this and go, I'm not about that. I'm all for Donald Trump. But when you start talking about Star Child and Starseed, I'm not with you guys. And we're like, that's fine. That is fine. We're doing what the whole queue does. We're not picking and choosing. And we're not following the queue. We're just putting together some pieces that make sense to us. And that is all of the Indian traditions. And then what Partha has been able to amaze us with his knowledge, wisdom, kindness, and making predictions, and those predictions ending true. He's the only one that understood what the solar flash meant. Out of any of you people, all 26 of you here, all 26 of us, none of y'all knew what that solar flash meant. Partha was like, oh yes, we know. We have a very ancient tradition in India where we talk about this. It's in the Vedic writings too. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Why are you so smart? Thank you for being my friend. Thanks for inviting me into your family. But you're smart. Can you keep talking, please? Yeah, that's being part of the Q family. I've never known a family to get along 100%. My sister's family gets close, but even sometimes they sandpaper each other's asses. Yeah, Partho is just amazing, man. And he passes all of my tests. Like I come to him as a doubting Thomas. I had a whole other line of inquiry. I felt solid on what I was talking about. And on the 23rd, something happening, and Partha was like, well, yes, something's going to happen, but it's not what you think. It's the 28th. We are looking at the 28th. Well, why, Partha? Well, because Atlas and Swan. No, Partha, they're going to hit each other. We're going to have an electric event. No, yes, they're going to have an electric event. Yes. But it's the 28th where you're going to look for the real electric event. You'd see. It's okay. Hi, Graham. We were just talking about you. Welcome. Uh, Epic confused you for Graham Hancock there for a few minutes. It took him a little while in the conversation to figure out that we weren't talking about Graham Simpson. No, you're not bragging, CJ. You're not bragging. If you have wisdom, and you do, you drop bombs, dude. You drop gems, CJ. Your experience is well appreciated here. Always. You've never, and I've pushed back against you a few times. We've had our disagreements, as it should be. Graham, today we're doing Campo Viejo, which is available throughout the United States and Great Britain. So get the cheapest Campo Viejo. It's just delicious. It's a good table wine. It's a Rioja, and that's what we're enjoying today. I'm going to be on a few more minutes, and then I'm going to be cooking me some dinners and working on some videos and you know, stuffs. Thanks, CJ. Launch in 14 minutes. All right, guys. I'll go ahead and wind this, my face on here. The chat room's going to stay up, so let's go ahead and all watch the countdown, and we can chat it up. Chillaxing today, baby. Ain't nothing like a Sunday when you can just chillax and the weather is spot on and you get to hang out with some friends. So yeah, I'm going to wind this down. I'm going to say, anybody have any questions? I'll give it a minute for questions. But you're educated. You're down with what's going on. A lot of you are much more well educated on what we're talking about than I am. But yeah, our queue is different. So go ahead and accept yourself as members of the queue, because and I was going to do this, and I'll do this in tomorrow's video. But the cornerstone of the queue is we're going to show you some breadcrumbs, and it's up to you to put together that loaf. We're not going to do it for you. That has always been a tantamount cornerstone to anything that's queue. Here's some information. It's up to you if you want to believe it, but it rings true, and there is some credible sourcing to it, but it's up to you if you want to believe. And so yeah, that's kind of how it all goes down. And remember, there's always part of information is misinformation. If you're delivering good information and you want to kind of code it in, then you're gonna rub in some misinformation too. And it's the experienced ones that can separate that fly shit from that black pepper. AC/DC's there. That was my first rock and roll concert, the Back in Black tour. I saw the Back in Black tour and For Those About to Rock, and that shit was crazy, man. That was off the hook. What's his name? The guitarist. Oh, it's right there. God dog it. Guitars for AC/DC. Angus Young. I didn't look. That was right off here. Angus, man, when he went to town, I got it. I understood rock and roll right then, because I've never been to a rock concert, and I've seen some bands and stuff, and I listened to the album. I thought it was cool. But when Angus started shredding, what in the... Yeah! Rock and roll. Angus Young. Thanks, Nemesis. Off the chain, dude. So yeah, ever since then I was like, yeah, rock and roll. I get it. In the studio it's nice, but rock and roll happens in the sweat of the pit. All right, guys. And with rock and roll, there's also a little bit of... Oh yeah. You know what time it is. That's what we're about. So we have work to do. We have good fun, but Monday starts my effort to get some attention from the queue, because we have something to show them, and we do good work here at the Breadcrumbs Project. See you guys. Good deeds, good thoughts, and good words. Let's lift off. Falcon 9 Heavy, Dragon, let's go.